Hello, it's Nicole from Headspace. How is everyone? It's Friday. Here to do our week ahead reading. So, had a lot of positive feedback from Tuesday night's reading. Seemed like it resonated with a lot of the collective, so that's always cool. A lot of people felt like it resonated with them. So yeah, I'm gonna shuffle, pull some cards, and we're gonna do a little week ahead reading. I don't even know what the date is, but it's for next week. What's today, the 7th? So what, the 11th maybe? The week of the 11th of November. Of course, Max is gonna get up now and make some noise, it looks like, even though he's been sleeping and quiet for hours, but in true fashion, he's gotta make his appearance, right? Yeah, so I'm trying to think of what else. We're still Mercury retrograde. We had the full moon on the 5th. I feel like for me, this full moon definitely had me like moving to get things done, but it didn't feel as intense as it has been the last few full moons. So let me know if you guys felt something similar or different. It's always nice to kind of, see who's going through what so we can all know if we're crazy or not. No, it's just nice to be with like-minded people and share experiences. So, we'll shuffle and we will get started on the collective reading for the week of, I believe, November 11th. I probably should have checked the calendar before, but you guys are smart, you'll figure it out, right? Yeah. All right, let's shuffle. I'm chilly tonight. I'm repping my New York sweatshirt all the way from Rome. Had to bring something from New York with me, right? Also, I am up and running for virtual readings. Had a couple already from here. Energy feels good. And you know what? These cards don't, though. I'm going to just reshuffle. These are, I just feel like they're weird. But yeah, so if you're interested in a virtual reading, you can go ahead and message me or go on the website, headspacenj.com. I also have the monthly readings, so you can do a subscription. It's a personal monthly reading to check in on your energy. It's 20 minutes every month. You can go on and schedule it whenever you want. And I don't know, a lot of people like it. It's just like all the subscriptions that everyone has, right? You do subscription boxes for everything, so this is kind of a self-care subscription. Yeah, so let's see what we get for next week. And then I think starting next week, I'll be popping on a little bit more, just going over things. I might do like a guided meditation live. Or, I don't know, we'll talk about some other topics, protecting your energy. You know, that's a big thing that I'm trying to push for people, is to really start protecting their energy more. It's just really important, and for me personally, it has like changed my life once I realized what energy was and how I could protect my own energy, and it's just made things, even when they seem like they're falling apart or whatever, more bearable. I just feel safer. So yeah. And then I do have a Reiki 1 virtual course coming up on November 17th. So if you're interested in that, you can sign up online as well. It's headspacenj.com. And I also offer them private as well. So if you want to do a private virtual Reiki attunement / class, you can message me and we can set that up as well. I'll send you all the info if you have questions. But you'll get a manual, you get the attunement, and then we'll go over all of the info. So All right, let's see what we have for the collective for next week, November 11th, I think. Or the 10th? I don't know. All right, so chilly. Okay. All right, so the first thing that's popping out to me is that everything is okay. So it feels like for some of you, you might be in this energy of like, I don't know what I did. I don't know what's going on. Did I make a mistake? Why is everything not working out? I've been preparing and I feel like it's not moving forward. Just feels like there's a lot of worry, a lot of fear. But the universe, your spirit team, they just want to let you know that everything is okay. Everything is working as it's meant to. You are exactly where you need to be. They just are asking you to like continue to stay positive, keep the faith, stay optimistic, because you are exactly on the path that you're meant to be on. Try to stay focused on the positivity. Don't let the negativity bring you down. Even if there is like any type of negativity happening in your life, just try to replace it. Obviously, it's not going to go away immediately, and we don't want to pretend like it's not there, but just to remind yourself of the positive things that you have, maybe doing a gratitude list or even in your head on your drive to work or whatever. It just helps you to keep that mindset in a positive way. It feels like also releasing any type of like jealous feelings. I feel like for some of you, as you're like trying to make these big changes and movements in your life, you like might be looking around seeing other people that are either having the things that you're wanting or doing the things that you're wanting to do, or it just seems like their life is maybe moving easier or more simple or whatever the case may be. It's just, and there's like some jealous feelings behind it. Just remind yourself that not everything is the way it looks. And also that a lot of the times when you're being around, like put around people that are getting the things that you're working towards or manifesting in, that is the universe putting you in that energy. Like, so it's like you're on deck, like you're in the lineup. You're now being gravitated towards people that are doing the same thing as you, and like attracts like, right? So you're in that energy. You might not be seeing the physical manifestations of it, but you are in the energy and the physical part is coming. So don't be jealous of the people around you, or you're hearing stories, oh, so-and-so is pregnant and you've been wanting to get pregnant. That just means that you are on the path, you're in the energy. And again, like attracts like, so you're where you need to be, even if it doesn't feel like it, or even if you're not seeing it. And I feel like for a bunch of you in the collective, it's like, that you're where you're supposed to be. You've been following the signs, you've been following your intuition, the synchronicities. You're just not seeing all of the physical manifestation of it yet. And I guess that's like freaking you out, which, trust me, I understand. I feel like I'm kind of in the same boat right now. I just moved my whole life across the world, and I'm like, okay, now when's everything gonna, pop off? But I'm being assured by my guides and the messages that, we are, or I am exactly where I'm meant to be, and that everything is still aligning. And, the universe can see things that we cannot see, and the universe is making sure that things are in place where we don't have control over everything. So, just, trying to be mindful to not be jealous, and allow the universe to manifest for us in the time that is appropriate for us. I feel like a lot of blocks and obstacles are being lifted too. I feel like some of you might feel like you're manifesting these things, or you're going through things, and even though you're having to like jump through a lot of hoops or whatever, it feels like it's not as bad as you thought it was going to be. Like things are going a little bit more smoothly than you had anticipated. Even though you're still having to like deal with certain things or go through certain things, it's not as bad as it could be, and it's not as bad as maybe you thought it was going to be. So that is like a gift from the universe as well. But also that like the obstacles and blocks are being lifted. So, just keep doing what you're doing. It feels like you also need to keep in mind that like what is for you, like what is meant for you is for you, and that there like nothing can take it away from you. There's no need to compete. There's enough abundance for everyone, no matter what it is that you are trying to call in. I did hair for 20 years. I still do hair, I guess, not as much, but in like the height of my career, there was a lot of competition. People were always afraid that there's 50 salons in this neighborhood. Who's gonna go to you? Blah blah blah. Well, yeah, there's 50 salons, and there's a million people. There's millions of people in the world. There's enough for everyone. There's enough for everyone. So just remembering to keep that abundant mindset and knowing that there is no competition, and that whatever is meant for you is going to find you. And the more that you believe that, the more you're going to see that actually as the case. And I definitely went through a period where maybe I felt like, oh no, a client is going to go to someone else if they, if that person is talking to them or whatever. It's not the case. Everything's energy. So, and even if you're offering the same services as 100 other people, no one can offer what you have because you are you, right? So you have to remember that you are the gift. You are a part of why people are going to come to you, or, so I think making sure that you don't have that competitive mindset, and that jealousy. I feel like for a lot of you, making sure that you are taking care of your physical body is coming through. I feel like for some of you, you're going through like an energetic upgrade maybe. So you're clearing out obstacles and blockages, right? But I feel like you're also like, you need to clear out like your physical body as well. I feel like making sure that you're eating properly, and whatever that means for you. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to be on a specific diet or whatever. You don't have to eat high protein. It's whatever feels right and good for you and your body. Everyone's different. Everyone's being called to, do different things. But it just feels like making sure that you're eating foods that support you, foods that make you feel good, foods that give you energy, that don't weigh you down. For a lot of you, I feel like there might even be a lot of like dietary changes happening, but like not that you're purposely trying to. It feels like your body is, because it's energetically shifting, your body is also like requiring different things. So it might be for some of you, you used to be able to drink a glass of wine with dinner a few nights a week, and now when you drink the wine, it doesn't feel good, or you don't want it, or whatever. Or you might be a big meat eater, and all of a sudden now you're just like, ew, I don't want any meat product. Like I'm not about this anymore. Just trust that that's all part of what you're going through. As we level up energetically, we need to like have a lighter energy body. And it's very normal for these things to happen. And sometimes it happens, for a long time. Sometimes it's just temporary until you make that change in that energetic like jump or whatever. But just trust the process. Also making sure that you move your body, making sure that you're keeping your body in a higher energetic state is what's coming through basically. I also feel like being positive with yourself, not being hard on yourself, like making sure to say nice things to yourself. I know sometimes it's hard. We can be our own worst critic. We can really get down on ourselves. But just make sure that, the words that you say, even if it's in your mind, that's the energy that you're putting out. So we don't want to put out this negativity or, this low vibrational energy. So, even if you're having a bad day and you're just feeling really down on yourself, just try to focus on the positive things about yourself. Even if it's only one thing that you can think of for that moment, focus on that. I also think that a lot of you're kind of in this like serious energy, making sure that you are still doing things that are enjoyable for you, things that make you feel good, even if it's just reading a book, doing yoga, taking a walk, coloring, drawing, whatever, doing puzzles, even if it's just simple little things like that, making sure that you are doing things that make you feel good and are enjoyable. It very much feels like you're really just, this is all about like an energy, like protection, preservation type of thing. So you're just going to continue to, mind your thoughts, mind your body, mind your energy, and keep allowing yourself to energetically level up. For a lot of you, I feel like there's been a lot of tower moment issues happening. For some of you, I feel like you are going to be going through a tower moment. So there's definitely a split here in the collective. So some of you, you've already had the tower moment, you've gone through the bullshit, everything is crumbled around you, everything is different, right? And now you're building back up. You're putting the pieces back together, you're trying to get a more solid and stable, grounded situation. For others of you, I feel like you are in the beginning of the process where things are going to be changing. There's going to be big changes. You're going to be having things leave your life, or you're not going to resonate with things anymore the same way. There's a lot of different things that are going to be happening. And I feel like this is a little bit of a smaller percentage of the collective, but definitely coming through for some of you, not all of you. I think it's also, you're being called to really like step into who you are, allow yourself to really be your true authentic self. No more hiding behind this facade or not allowing yourself to be seen. Your guides are really trying to have you step into your energy more, express your individuality, really like let your true self shine. Because that is what makes you different. That is what makes you special. And that's what's going to attract in what it is that you're wanting. Being true and authentic to yourself. A lot of you are definitely, abundance is on the mind, right? Like obviously with the way the world is, I think we're all kind of worried about our financial situation and money and where it's going to come and, keeping it consistent and stable. So it's feeling like you definitely want to consistently, be mindful of how you're spending your money and how you're saving your money. But also like not being crazy about it and not limiting yourself, especially like in your thoughts. Sometimes, we have past, actually, this is like part of a reading I did earlier today, but we could have been raised, a lot of us have been raised by people that were probably raised by their parents, that had this mindset of, either we don't deserve to make a lot of money or we don't deserve to have money, or that like you need to work hard to earn your money, and that's not the case, right? We all deserve to have abundance. We all deserve to have money. Money is just energy. It's just a physical form of energy that we can call in, and it feels like allowing yourself to call that in, making sure that you keep an abundant mindset, staying out of that like poverty mindset where, oh, I gotta work hard and it's like easy come, easy go, like we gotta keep that out of our mind and know that the universe always has our back. we're always going to be supported. Sometimes it feels like we're not, right? Like it feels like scary sometimes, but if you really think about it, at the end of the day, it always works out, right? Like, you know, we've all gotten this far because it's worked out. Something always comes through at the last moment or whatever. But just making sure that you're being conscious about how you're saving for your future, how you're spending your money, but like not going overboard, not trying to be a control freak about it, not hoarding things or your money, but just being smart about how you're allowing your money to be spent. Also, just making sure that you are really clear on what you want to call in as far as your abundance. You know, sometimes we leave it a little bit too open, and I think that the universe is kind of like, what do you want? Like, what are you asking for exactly? Because you just say you want abundance or you want a lot of money, but like, what does that mean for you really? And what do you really want the money for? You know, do you want it to buy things? Do you want it for freedom? Do you want it for comfort, for safety? So really like making sure that you are a little bit more detailed in what it is that you want with this abundance. So let's see what else. I think a lot of you, if you haven't been already, you're being asked to really like leave anything that is no longer serving you for your highest good. Any unhealthy situation, whether it's a job, a relationship, a way of, you know, being an addiction, whatever. You're really being asked to step away. These negative things are not going to help you move forward, and it's definitely not going to help you to manifest as easily. So allowing these things that are no longer serving you to just fall away, let them. It's, you know, we don't need to hold on to things that are not for our highest good, and that can be, like I said, people, places, and things. Friendships, right? If you have friendships that are not lifting you up, that are not making you feel good, that are not inspiring you, that are not in support of you, it's time to let those go, because it's also affecting the flow of abundance for you, right? Because you're allowing the universe to see that you don't have that self-love, and you're keeping yourself in a lower vibrational energy. So yeah, I feel like for a lot of you, and this, so now I got another like 50-50 split. So for some of you, it feels like you have been in this energy where you feel like you've been through it, you've been going through it, you're tired, you're low energy, you know, it's been rough. And I feel like that's for the people that have already been going through the tower moment. They're tired, we're over it, like beat the F up, right? Then there's others of you that have come out of that. You've been there, you're doing that, and now you're coming out of that energy. And I feel like there is a big release coming for you if you haven't had it already. But I feel like a lot of you, there's like a big energetic release coming. I feel like you can breathe again. I feel like you can see clear again. I feel like for a lot of you, there's been like a fog around you, and it's like you don't know who you are, you don't know where you're going, you don't know what's coming towards you, you don't even know what you want to attract, and now you're stepping out of that energy into this more grounded energy where you're starting to feel like yourself again, in maybe even in a different way, but you're starting to recognize yourself, you're feeling who you are. I feel like you're speaking out more, you're speaking up for yourself, you're standing in your beliefs, you're saying yes when you really want to say yes, you're saying no when you really want to say no, like you're protecting your energy, and I feel like there's just this release of like stagnant energy, like these release of old parts of yourself that are no longer serving you, like you're letting it go finally, and I feel like for a lot of you, you're really starting to step into your power. For those of you that aren't there yet, this will be your path eventually, but it feels like you're more in, you know, the tower phase you're not quite there yet. You got a little ways to go, but the universe wants you to see like what's down the path for you. So it does feel like once you get through that, you will be in this like strong energy. You will be in an energy where you're not going to chase things. You're going to allow them to come to you. You're going to attract what is meant for you with confidence. I feel like there's a lot of confidence around you from within. You know, you really like are starting to embrace who you are. You're starting to love yourself more. You're just kind of feeling yourself. It feels good. And then I do feel like there is going to be a like support team around you, or a group of people around you that are maybe more like-minded, that are going to be supportive of you, inspiring, lifting you up. I do see that coming for you guys. Yeah, I think that's what I have. It's just like they just shut down. Let me see if there's any last messages. No. So that is what I have for the collective. So this is for November 10th, I guess, Monday, the week ahead. If this resonated, definitely leave a comment or like, let me know. It's always interesting to see like who it resonates with and what people are going through, and knowing that, you know, a lot of us are in the same boat. And again, if it resonated with you and you want to check in on a personal level deeper, definitely reach out and we can get you something scheduled. I do everything virtually now, so you can do it anywhere, anytime. And again, I do have the monthly subscription, so you can every month do a one-on-one virtual check-in on your energy, see if you're still on the path that you want to be on, see if anything new is coming up. Just validating what you already know, can be all of that. So all the info is on my website, headspacenj.com. And I do have a Reiki 1 attunement class coming up on November 17th. So even if you're not interested in necessarily practicing Reiki as a profession, it is something that I found helped me to kind of dive deeper into my intuition, connect a little bit more deeper with myself, my higher self. And it definitely helped me to kind of like ramp up my intuition as well. So multiple purposes for it, but yeah. So that is what I have for you guys. I hope you all have a great weekend. I will definitely repost this reading, so if you missed it, you can catch it on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, and that's it. So I will be back next week, and I think I'm gonna try and do like a guided meditation on one of the lives, and then obviously we'll do the readings and the check-ins. So have a good day / night, whatever time it is for you, and we'll see you next week.